other side. Come on back down, roll, other side. Good, that's a lot smoother, right? Again, try a few of them. So back, switch legs, up, back down, switch legs, up. This drill here alone is an amazing drill for mobility, hip stability, core strength, and just learning this movement better. So now imagine, grab your weight, and then we're gonna plant those feet in the proper position. We're gonna get into it, straighten out, stand. Good, back down. Now on the other side, let's try it the other way. This time we're going to roll into position. Good, so a little especially wide down efficiently. And animals, including human beings, are lazy by nature. They want to move as efficiently as possible to minimize energy expenditure, minimize risk, and get the job done most effectively as possible. So when a bear sees some honey in a tree, it's to get a better workout. It's not going to purposely take the hardest route to get there, right? It's going to naturally think of the easiest, most efficient, and effective way of getting honey. And it's no different from us. If we move this way, it helps us, first of all, helps us get more work done. The little task, like even a sit-up, takes much less energy and it takes much less force on the spine. So by moving more efficiently, we're going to be able to progress in our movements faster, easier, and safer, get more done, and ultimately save ourselves from a lifetime of struggling through movements that we don't need to do. We're going to have more time to do other things besides. So let's talk movement. Let's do some locomotive skills. We did some getting up and down off the ground. Let's do some to and fro. Okay, and we'll work on a variety of different ways we can do that. Let's start with one here. Let's come on down into a squat. All right, and what we're going to see is, can we stay as low as possible and smoothly walk? So we're going to turn around. We're going to do on our toes. Let's pretend we're on like a little plank here. We don't have a lot of room to move. We're going to try to just pivot around on our toes. On our toes. Good. All right. Let's bring one leg forward, and let's allow ourselves to drop it to the floor. Right? And see if we can just smoothly bring the next one up in line. Allow it to pull us smoothly with it as it comes down. And this alone, good. Turn around. Try that guy out again. So take a step.
This one's deceptive. It's
and it's basically we're learning a little bit of tension and relaxation because we're having to maintain the right amount of tension that we don't just fall on our knee, but we also have to let it relax and pulse. And on our other side here, we're trying to let this, although it's being a bit of a stability guide so that we don't fall, it's also trying to be nice and loose so that as we transition, it just pulls. And we're going to come right up. And this one, have a seat on your bum. This one's aptly been named the Lieutenant Dan, seen Forrest Gump, right? Lieutenant Dan, you got no legs. So, how to move when you got no legs, or your legs are injured, we've got to use our upper body. So essentially what we're going to be doing is pulling ourselves, and I want you to give that a shot, just on your own, just go ahead, pull. Good. Good, and what I want you really focusing on as we do this, and I see this, I don't know, I see this mistake a lot, boot camps, videos, we get people just dragging themselves, and often, this is, sometimes this has been called, like the no pants dance, or because as you're pulling, sometimes people's pants get caught, they pull right down. The trick is that we're actually trying to, using our hips and our arms, we're actually trying to lift our hips right off the ground. And then using, our ability to hip hinge and move, we're trying to effectively swing our hips back, claim as much ground as we can, plant ourselves down, and redo it. So we're not actually dragging ourselves. We're actually have a much more complex movement here that allows us to get a lot of ground really easily with a little thrust.
Claiming ground with my ass.
Yeah, exactly. After your speed at which you do them. Although we really want to put an emphasis on moving properly first, because the biggest mistake people do with several routines out there is doing too much too quickly before they've mastered the movement, and then they spend more time doing the movement incorrectly than they do correctly, and actually progressively starts to become worse most of the time. So when you are ready for it, there's benefits and something to be said for being able to smoothly move like this with efficiency. So let's move it into what we call a four-legged drill, okay? Although we're using our arms and our legs, when we're on all fours here, it's pretty much like legs, like a dog, 4 legs. So for a little bit of perception, all I want you to do is start right here in what we're going to call a beige crawl position. So our hands are placed right under the shoulders, knees are right under the hips, and our back is...
It's about to become very unflattering.
and our back is flat. Okay, so nice flat back. So what we're going to work on here, and this is just for your own perception, is I just want you to try and move as smoothly as you can. So you're basically trying to maintain this shape. And what we're going to do is right in this position that we're starting in, with our toes down to the floor, we're going to ever so slightly elevate the knees while maintaining our position. I'm actually going to try to get you to flatten out a little more here. Just come at, yeah, right there, and then see if you can. Perfect. So from there, same drill. I want you trying to be as smooth and efficient as possible. Wow. If there was a hot cup of coffee on you, we wouldn't want to burn ourselves. Nice and smooth.
Who'd have thought crawling was so hard?
Good. So again, you know, from the mainstream fitness aspect, this is working the quads, it's working the triceps. This line on the floor here. It's a balance beam. Okay, maybe you've got like a 2x4. Got about 4 inches or so. In fact, practicing on a 2x4 is a great drill. We have those, they're not currently here with us today. Let's pretend we got them, okay? So I want you to imagine now that you are doing this 4-legged crawl on the 2x4. So you need one leg, remember you've got a couple inches of room. You need your hands and your legs spread apart. And as you crawl, you need to maintain that nice center of gravity where both your feet and your hands are on this 2x4.
Wow.
Give it a shot.
All right. This is complicated now.
Good.
You made this look so much easier.
Good. And you're trying to stay nice and long from head to tail. You're thinking as long as possible. Yes. Which makes it a little harder.
It all looks so simple from, crawling. Who can't crawl, right? But when you actually change it up that way, it becomes very, very physically demanding. Even though it's a simple movement, you can do it at home in the basement.
Exactly. And just from a MovNat perspective, even crawling the way we were doing, let's say we were actually balancing on a ledge or a beam, okay? It's actually more efficient, it's easier to keep more of your weight positioned on your legs and your lower body. Gently use your arms as a guide and crawl. If you caught yourself actually trying to, if this was a high-risk situation, maybe you're 8 feet up, maybe you're not too confident with these skills, you're going to want to try to make yourself as small and compact as possible. So it's actually more efficient to sit back on your feet, put less of your weight on your arms, and use them as a guide as you more or less walk on the beam. But with that being said, it's important to practice both ways. If we practice like that all the time, it's great. We'll be great at moving that way, which is how we want to move in most cases. But if we ever catch ourselves in a situation where we need to be strung out like this, for whatever reason, if we haven't trained that way, that structure here is going to be very weak, and now it's going to become very dangerous. So that's the benefit of working in a safe environment and being able to practice these drills in many different ways.
All right, so you got to tell me about climbing. So I think that everybody, as soon as they see this rope, is going to want to climb the rope.
Definitely, yeah. Climbing is an important part of MovNat. There's several different techniques on how to get onto a bar or a branch or climb a rope, and we'll go over that. Efficiency really comes into play with climbing, especially if you're dealing with just people who are a little less dominant upper body strength. Often a lot of women who can't do a pull-up yet, you think, how am I going to climb a rope, or how am I going to get on top of the bar? And that's where efficiency and technique.
I love that word efficiency, because for me that's what's important. I mean, I have a lot of muscle, no matter how much I try and learn to do a push-up, I can't. My body will not build muscle easily, so efficiency is what's going to be really important if I need to.
Yeah, immediately, and you can try if you want. An inefficient yet effective way to climb a rope would be no specific technique, just muscling it with our arms. It's effective in the sense that if you can do it, you can still get up. So using just upper body strength, if you can still climb this rope, then you can effectively climb it, but it's not very efficient. It's using a lot of energy, and there's an easier way to do it. Are you able to do that?
I am.
And I'm not expecting it. You can try. No legs allowed.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So we're going to see if, while using efficient technique, you can climb. All right. And we're gonna use the wraparound technique here. So with one leg, we're going to wrap around the inside of the rope, get a nice little loop going like that. And what we're going to do is, as we climb, and even this takes a little practice, as I can actually show you right from the ground here, with just a little bit of height, is we're going to use our legs and our feet to hold on to the rope. So right now, I would say my arms are probably only taking half of it, if that. The actual greatest amount of stress right now is running down the back of the leg, which is awesome because that's just a nice straight. Actually, the best thing to do is stay calm. Just breathe. Think about what you're going to do. Right now I'm here. I'm going to place one arm, really engage my lat, my shoulder, and I'm just going to gently pull. The first couple times it is, but even still, you can still efficiently come down. Think about what you're doing is important. One arm, gently lighten up those legs, re-grab, all the way down. So
let's do this.
There's your mini crash here. Wrap around, yeah. And just know that when you're up there, the real tension is going to be pulling right here. And you're going to try to keep that straight. You're going to pinch that with your feet, and you're going to be able to chill there. You can actually start that way. You can lock one foot in and just try it. Are you able to hang there?
That's not so bad.
Yeah, so you're already partway there. So you're going to reach one arm and use those legs to stand as you pull. Good. Good, not bad. So hold on, hang there for a sec. Chill, embrace it. you want to get your sequence right and your time right. You can put it down if you want. What I actually saw happen is when you're up here and you're ready to go, you were already in this position, and the next most efficient thing to do would have been to raise this arm, pull, legs. But you were here and you reached higher again with that arm. So now you've got this long arm, it's a big hard pull, and you only got so far up. So you're going to try to make sure you alternate. Whichever arm is lower, that's going to be the next one to go up. And then the next one to go up. And you're going to try to follow that. Lower arm is going to be the next one to go up. Yeah? And you're going to pull, and you're going to pinch and stand. There you go. Lower arm there, and you're going to have this in no time. Move it over, and you know what? We'll actually come back to staying after it, and we'll probably switch feet because you know when you're not used to it, when you first try, everything new is going to take its toll. Yeah. It's just like the way we practice. Technique is number one. Excellent. Good. Yeah, it's excellent training for something like the warrior dash. So you're really going to work on thrusting those hips. Good. Good. Lots of power, maintaining that posture. Alright, that's it. Come on. You got this. There we go. Good. Alright, next squat. Good, two more.
So we gotta make it.
Good.
We did this a whole bunch.
Yeah, you're breathing now, right? You can see. Good. Feels some sense. So even though we're breathing hard, we still need to really focus on power, technique, posture. Good. Squeeze. Almost there. Good, so try to take it, transition right into it. There you go, stay tall, stay tall. There, excellent, one more set. So as you can see, you know, you breathe, even though this wasn't, you know, a high intensity circuit per se, with, you know, hundreds of reps of skipping or 21 clean and press or something, it still got you breathing, right, immensely. We worked a lot of mobility, a lot of different skills, nothing that completely fatigued you at each station so that you're able to keep moving, and someone would perform a circuit like this for maybe 3, 4, possibly 5 times, depending what was in it, how much energy they had, never sacrificing, you know, time for quality of movement. That always comes from the one. So, good job.
Wow, awesome. And that was only 3 rounds, and I'm this exhausted. Well, thanks for watching Paleo Life today. That sums up our episode. We certainly touched on a lot of the fundamentals for MovNat Fitness. Big thank you to Jonathan for teaching us all about MovNat. Make sure that you go to his website at legendaryfitcanada.com and get a lot more information about MovNat Fitness, the movements.
And thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a good day. That was a good workout.
Bye.